The Houston Astros. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Ben Schulman, Buck Martinez, and Hazel May on hand as two teams hopeful to be in the playoff picture this year meet up for the first time of 3 straight games. We got a great pitching matchup tonight, but first, let's go over to the lineup, starting with the Blue Jays lineup. Toronto with a lot of hits over the weekend, trying to get more going, but this guy has certainly gotten going. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been on fire recently. We'll see if he can continue that. It's going to be a tough matchup for Vlad because it's Hunter Brown on the mound.
Yeah, Hunter Brown's one of the best right-handers in all of baseball. He got onto a terrific run at the end of last season. Over his last 20 starts coming into this year, he's 10-4. A very good ERA at 2.37. He's a power pitcher. He's got 2 fastballs. He'll throw a riding 2-seamer, a riding 4-seamer as well, slider and a changeup. He's got a good defense behind him as well. The Astros, the team, have only committed 10 errors. In the outfield, a different look. That's Jose Altuve out there in left field. Of course, we know him as a former Gold Glove second baseman. This is his 13th start in left. Myers is in center, and the rookie Cam Smith. Interesting story with Smith. He's a rookie 18th start. On the infield, it's Paredes, Pena, and DeCenzo. DeCenzo making his first start at first base this season, and Yanir Diaz behind the plate making his 15th start.
It's Jose Altuve in left. It's a new look. He did it to help them out a little bit in terms of the players that they have out there, and it's certainly interesting to see what was one of the best middle infielders in baseball now playing in the outfield.
Yeah, and it might actually take some heat off of him. He doesn't have to move around quite as much because he's got more room to cover, but there aren't as many plays in left field as he would get at second base.
Hunter Brown stepping onto the hill. Bo Bichette to lead it off for the Blue Jays. And the first pitch. In there at 98. Big velocity for Hunter Brown, but he's more than just a power pitcher. He's got a really good handle on how to use his pitches as well. Bichette scorches it foul. It's 0-2.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Brown throws 2 fastballs, a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer. He throws a curveball and a changeup. He does throw an occasional cutter, not very often, or does he throw a slider very often, but he has them in his arsenal. But you got to turn it up a notch facing Hunter Brown.
Is 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 straight fastballs for the first out.
Bo Bichette is now 0 for 6, and Hunter Brown, how about not wasting any time using his fastball? It comes right at Bichette, and that ball had a lot of run on it. That 4-seamer away from Bichette results in the first strikeout of the ball game.
After that strikeout, batters this year 2 for 27 against Hunter Brown's 4-seam fastball. His pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Ball 1. Hunter Brown, a native of Detroit, Michigan, 5th rounder by the Astros in 2019. There's breaking ball. That was the cutter, and he skipped it to make it 2-0.
Yeah, he grew up as a Tiger fan, and of course, if you're a pitcher, the Tiger that everybody wanted to emulate was Justin Verlander, and there's a lot of Verlander in his delivery.
He got to be teammates with Justin Verlander, of course. 2-0 pitch is inside 3-0. What do you see from him that you saw from Verlander?
Well, the way he sets up, he puts his hand up in the same spot, holds his glove in the same spot as Verlander, and he's got a similar windup to Justin. A little pause and a turn, and Vladdy tossed the bat away, and he couldn't believe that was a strike. Home plate umpires James Hoy.
He's the crew chief today. DJ Rayburn at first, John Lipka at second, and Sean Barber at third. And strike box says that James Hoy was on that one. 3-1 pitch. Chopped to the left side, backhanded by the Gold Glover Pena. Jump throw to first, and that's a heck of a play for the second out.
Jeremy Pena has played every inning of every game so far this season. He's committed just 1 error, and he had a good sense of needing to unload it in a hurry. couldn't really plant his feet, so he jumps in the air and throws a strike across the diamond to retire Guerrero.
Hunter Brown looking like Justin Verlander. Jeremy Pena looking like Derek Jeter on that throw. Helps out Brown. Now 2 outs and the base is empty for Anthony Santander.
In the 6 games on the homestand, Blue Jays only hit 4 home runs, and Santander had 1 of those. It's been an area of concern for the Blue Jays. Tough to catch up to 98, top of the zone.
John Schneider had mentioned before the game they're hitting the ball hard. They don't want guys to focus too much on getting it up in the air, except Santander. That's what he does. Lifts the ball and hits home runs. The 0-2 popped up. Yainer Diaz removes the mask, and that'll do it for the top of the first inning. Clean top of the first for Hunter Brown. Jose Altuve leads off next.
Tonight, here we go again. Oilers, Kings, Game 1. It's on tonight, and it's only on Sportsnet.
Oh no. Don't go there. Don't go there. No, run. Aw. You're so cute. Okay. I think I got it.
What if I crashed through the window?
That's genius.
From business
Excellent.
to taking care of business, Rogers Xfinity Internet changes everything.
And booked. Plus, we got free checked bags with my TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card.
Everything's better when you save on a vacation.
More like a save-cation. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
TD. Ready for you.
Blue Jays, Astros, tomorrow on Sportsnet 1.
Couple new faces in the lineup from last year for the Houston Astros, but at the top of the order, it's been a constant for a long time. Jose Altuve, one of the great Astros of all time. He makes a habit out of punishing the Toronto Blue Jays, and he will get the offensive day started for Houston as the Blue Jays counter with the right-hander Kevin Gausman.
Yeah, Kevin Gausman will make his 4th career start here at this Icon ballpark, and he's really thrown the ball well on the road, as we mentioned. He has pitched at Citi Field, he's pitched at Fenway Park and Orioles Park. He's pitched in 3 tough venues so far, and this is the same. This is a tough pitcher's ballpark because of the short porch and left. And Gausman has surrendered 4 home runs so far this season. As a staff, the Blue Jays have allowed a home run in 8 straight games.
Seattle Mariners, Atlanta Braves, a big part of that. Gausman settling in now as Jose Altuve, the left fielder for the Houston Astros, leads it off. The pitch. Just low. So you mentioned that short pitch. Do you, as a catcher, call it, or should a pitcher pitch differently because of the ballpark?
No, not at all. That's a great question, because you get in here and you think, well, I got to keep it away from him. You have to pitch your strength. And you can't do that at Fenway. You can't do that here at Crawford Boxes. You've got to make sure that you pitch to your strength and don't alter your approach because of where you're pitching.
The 1-1. Down and away, ball 2.
Gausman's thrown a few more sliders this season. He's got a little better shape on his breaking ball, and it's a complementary pitch. His bread and butter, of course, the fastball and the splitter. But that slider can give the hitter a moment of pause, little hesitation.
Looks like he's got the good fastball so far.
Yeah, his velocity's been good from the start of the season. Got in some good work in the spring, and that fastball has been there.
His 2-2 in the dirt. That was the first splitter of the day. The payoff pitch. Low ball 4. Tough take there from Altuve. Borderline pitch, and he's got a leadoff walk.
Now let's take a look at the announcement tonight. It sets up with Rodin in left. Good to see him back in the lineup. He did not play yesterday after that train wreck he had with Rowdy Tellez on Saturday. Miles Strauss in center, former Astro. He's a Gold Glove winner, and Springer is back in right, his familiar territory. Clement, Bichette, Menace, and Guerrero from third base to first, and Alejandro Kirk behind the plate.
First pitch to Yordan Alvarez, called a strike 0-1. Probably nice for the Blue Jays to have Straw and Springer, who are familiar with this ballpark. Not only is it tough for pitchers, but it's got some weird angles for the outfielders as well.
Yeah, it's big and spacious in center and right for sure.
Slugger Alvarez takes another strike 0-2. Kevin Gausman has owned this matchup against a really good hitter in Yordan Alvarez. Yordan's 0 for 10 with 7 strikeouts career against Gausman. Two-strike pitch. Altuve takes off, and it's flipped toward left field. Rodin on to make the catch. Altuve trying to get back. Rodin's throw to first for the double play. What a toss from Alan Rodin, doubling up Altuve, 2 down.
Well, I tell you what, the defense has been very good all summer, all spring so far for the Blue Jays. Rodin picks up his second outfield assist, and this one is a terrific play. Of course, he could see the runner Altuve all the way to second base. He takes his time and throws a strike to Guerrero. Look how deliberate he is with that throw. He can really throw. He might not have the strongest of arm, but he's very accurate, and his ball stays true. It doesn't tail on him at all.
Big boost for Gausman after the leadoff walk. Now his pitch to Isaac Paredes. First-year Astro takes a strike. Paredes over from the Chicago Cubs, but probably better known by Blue Jay fans as a Tampa Bay Ray. 0-1. Outside and low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now, the thing about Paredes is you kind of think he's a little bit older than he is. He's been around so long, and he's such a good player. He's just 26 years old. He's from Hermosillo, Mexico.
Faces a 1-1. Called strike 1 and 2.
Now, here's a guy, much like his predecessor, Alex Bregman, who's tailor-made to hit in this ballpark. His home runs go to left. He doesn't hit them anywhere else. They go to left, right where the Crawford boxes are.
Every single one. 75 career home runs. None of them have even gone really to center. The 1-2. Hit on the ground, picked up by Bichette, and a long throw over to first for the final out. Good defense for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the first inning, and right at the forefront of it, Alan Rodin starting a double play. No score after 1.
Breaking news, and a surprise contender in the marathon.
Yes, Rachel, someone has caught up to the front. He's carrying a fridge.
Something remarkable has just happened.
Talk about keeping your eye on the ball.
What's happening courtside?
From half court, he got it!
I can't believe what I'm seeing. Over to baseball.
Bridgman's gonna win.
There's no way. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
If it's war, I want to win. This is do or die.
Make it worth it. Endor Season 2, streaming April 22nd, only on Disney+.
Patio furniture? Already?
It's happening! It's happening! Thousands of spring rollbacks. Spring is in the air.
Totally. I'm sorry. Allergies.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Houston. You know, Paxton Schultz was incredible Sunday. He was a bright spot in a disappointing Blue Jays loss. Now, Schultz came on in relief of Easton Lucas and proceeded to etch his name in the record books in what he described as an unbelievable major league debut. Schultz tied a major league record with 8 strikeouts in a debut by a reliever. And talking to him today, it still hadn't sunk in yet. Everything happened so fast, he told me, from getting told to packing up his stuff to signing a contract in the manager's office to pitching in a ball game. But he wouldn't have it any other way. It was a positive because it didn't give me much time to sit and stew on it. Schultz said he and Tyler Heineman did a good job of splitting the zone. Fastball cutter at the top and then off-speed down low to get the swing and miss. He felt like he kept the hitters guessing, guys, and did a good job of executing pitches.
Thank you, Hazel. George Springer dumps one into center field, and he's got a leadoff single back at his old home ballpark to start off the top of the second. But Buck, you make your major league debut, you probably just want to get in, get out, don't mess anything up, let alone set a major league record the first time you go out there and pitch.
Yeah, and he made a good point that he didn't have much of a chance to think about what it was going to be like. He just was thrust into the action. How about George Springer? This is his 20th career game against the Astros. That's just his 11th hit. But he has 5 homers against his former team.
Andres Jimenez now takes a strike. It's 0-1. Jimenez batting 5th today, Springer batting 4th, a change that John Schneider said was more tactical than anything else with the number of left-handed relievers that the Astros have in their pen. Springer takes off on the 0-1, and the pitch is a ball, and Springer is in there. 3rd stolen base of the year for George Springer.
Well, Diaz has not thrown the ball well this year at all. Now there been 17 steals against him. He's only caught 2 base runners, and Springer picks up another stolen base. He's 3 for 3 already. George got a little extra jump in his step so far.
Brown keeping an eye on him as Jimenez takes it low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, here's a situation even early in the game where Jimenez has to really focus on pulling the ball to the right side. You're locked in against a guy that comes in with a 17 inning, now 18 inning scoreless streak. You got to take advantage of Springer at second. That's what he's trying to do right there. He swung over the top of that breaking ball.
I guess Hunter Brown taking advantage of that in a way by slowing it down, knowing that Jimenez will try to start early to pull something. It's back-to-back scoreless starts for Hunter Brown. In the start before that, he gave up 2 in the 1st inning and then threw 5 shutout after that. His 2-2. Springer takes off again, and the pitch gets away from Diaz. That'll be another stolen base from George Springer.
Well, the stolen base is coming back in vogue in a big way. Springer picks up his 2nd stolen base of the inning. Milwaukee stole 6 bases in the 1st inning the other day and had 9 in the game. A franchise record, 9 stolen bases.
3-2 is hit foul, still 3-2. It's a huge stolen base for a couple reasons. One of them, it brings the infield in now, and Andres Jimenez has a lot of room to work with here to dunk something in.
Well, and this really reflects the starting pitching matchup. They don't expect a lot of runs to be scored tonight.
Another 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout today for Hunter Brown.
High fastball. He runs it up there, and he can challenge you at the top of the zone with that heater. It's right up there at 97. Tough to put that ball in play.
So 1 out, the infield remains in. Alejandro Kirk is up. And a miss high.
Take a look at the outfield shift. They don't expect Kirk to be able to get around at all on Hunter Brown. Look at Altuve. I mean, he's in straightaway left center.
(1-0). Called a strike. Kirk hits the ball down the left field line. He might have a triple.
I don't know about that. Altuve is faster than Kirk.
Yeah. The 1-1. Lined foul, 1-2.
You know what makes Hunter Brown's fastball so effective is the fact he's got a very smooth, easy delivery, like Justin Verlander. And the ball jumps on hitters. That's why Kirk was so late. When you've got a pitcher that has that smooth delivery, that fastball can get on you quick.
Springer on third with 1 out. The 1-2. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Blue Jays have a great chance to snap that scoreless streak right here in the second.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Just challenged him with 99, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Hunter Brown.
Well, when you got the kind of command that Brown has and the kind of velocity, why wouldn't you go to your best pitch? You get in a jam, use your best pitch to get out of it.
Blue Jays had Springer on third with nobody out, but 2 strikeouts in a row for Brown, and now his pitch to Ernie Clement. Lifted to right field, racing back Cam Smith, and he has room to make the catch and end the inning. 1 hit for Toronto. They leave George Springer on third. It's no score, middle of the second.
Sportsnet.ca is the site that has it all.
It's where you stay in the know.
Everything you need, from real-time stats to in-depth insights. Sportsnet.ca, home of the Blue Jays. Best is back. Here's what's up for grabs this season. You could win premium tickets for 4 to 3 Blue Jays home games. Get decked out with a merch prize pack. And enjoy a 3-night hotel stay with spending money. Plus, an exclusive meet and greet with George Springer. Talk about a grand slam. To enter and for complete contest rules, head to bluejays.com/TD Grand Slam Contest.
What can you get for $1 these days? A piping hot, delicious pizza. That's what. Buy 1 pizza and get the second one for $1. Yeah, pizza. For a limited time. Online only at Pizza Hut.
It's 1-0, big bro. Oh, settle down. You're making it look difficult, but I love it. Yeah, back to me here. That's another rep I just won. Yeah, come on. Shake off all the rust, hey? I won every rep before that. You're only as good as your last one. All right, man. Let's take a break. You can't end on that one. You got another level. You want another one? Let's do it. Double or nothing. Show it to me, 2-3. Let's go.
FA Cup semifinal, Saturday on Sportsnet 360. Download the app for the latest odds on today's baseball games and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
A beautiful day in Houston, Texas. Sunny, mid-20s degrees. There was a little bit of thunderstorms last night and this morning, but it has really brightened up, and it's a great day at Daikin Park in downtown Houston. No score, Blue Jays and Astros. Ben Schulman, Buck Martinez, and Hazel May. Kevin Gausman fires to Jeremy Pena and just misses outside for ball 1. Gausman faced the minimum in the first, in part due to great defense. A double play turned from the outfield by Alan Roden. Swing and a miss by Pena, the 4th-year shortstop who replaced Carlos Correa in 2022, won ALCS and World Series MVP as the Astros won the World Series that year.
Yeah, he jumped in and did a great job right out of the chute. He won a Gold Glove that first season, the first rookie ever to win a Gold Glove at shortstop.
Well, all of a sudden it became popular when Anthony Volpe did it again right after him. Pena off to a solid start to his year. He's been about a league average hitter in his career and an above average defender. Gausman looking for his first strikeout so far. Gets ready, and here's the 2-2 pitch. Hit well, foul.
Yeah, he's late on that fastball after seeing those splitters early in the at-bat. We talk about the Blue Jays staff, and Gausman is a big part of their success early on. He, Bassett, and Bowden Francis will pitch in this series.
All three of them off to very nice starts to the year.
Yeah, I think the Blue Jays have the best top 4 pitchers in the American League. Max Scherzer played a little catch today, and the report was pretty positive.
Line drive up the middle, a base hit for Pena into center field. Jimenez did all he could, but it's a leadoff single and the first hit of the day for Houston.
That's the first hit of his career against Kevin Gausman. He is now 1 for 9. Did a good job of staying inside that ball and hit it right back up the middle.
So for Pena now hits in 12 straight games. He is a base stealing threat as well. Took over 20 bases last year. The pitch to Jake Myers is low ball 1. Myers off to a really nice start. He's a great defensive outfielder. Was a Gold Glove finalist in center for the Gold Glove. Dalton Varsho ended up winning. And hitting over 300 to begin his year. The 2-0. Went to the slider that time to get in the zone.
Yeah, it's an effective pitch. He knows that it's his 3rd pitch, but he's patient with it, and that was a timely use of it right there to steal that strike when he was behind.
2-1. Pena takes off, and the pitch fouled off. Jeremy Pena is going to go back to first.
Well, this is kind of old school baseball. These two managers understand when you got your 2 big top of your rotation starters on the mound, runs are going to be tough to come by. So we've already seen 4 steal attempts in this game. Springer has 2 stolen bases.
Altuve went in the first, but he was doubled off on a line out, and then Pena just tried there before a foul ball. Maybe we'll see some bunting later on.
That would be kind of cool. A real old school game.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Tied him up with a fastball. 1 down.
There was a time earlier in his career where Kevin Gausman threw his fastball down, and it was really effective, and he would throw the fastball up now, and it's really good because he's got a little extra skip on it. But when he throws the fastball down, it really sets up his splitter very effectively.
His pitch to Yainer Diaz went to another slider there. Ball 1. Jeremy Pena on first base after the leadoff single. And he takes off again. Pitch is low. And Jeremy Pena is in there. His 5th stolen base of the year. He hasn't been caught yet.
As we mentioned earlier, the stolen base is coming back into style, and a lot of teams are utilizing it. And you know, pitchers haven't been used to holding runners on. It's always been an issue for Kevin Gausman because he's got kind of a slow release to the plate. But you're seeing more and more teams using the stolen base. Catchers haven't had to throw guys out for a bunch of years.
Gausman looking back now, and his pitch to Diaz cut on and missed. Good splitter there. 2-1. Diaz chops it to third. Clement looking back Pena, and a good toss over to first. 2 outs. Ernie Clement's been about as sure-handed as anyone so far in the American League at third base. Tied for the lead with 3 defensive runs saved. So 2 outs, and one of the most exciting players to watch in all of baseball coming up, the rookie Cam Smith, who played only 32 minor league games in his career before debuting on opening day.
Yeah, he was part of that trade with the Cubs that sent Kyle Tucker to Chicago, and boy, they trust him a lot. He's just 22 years old, born in Florida, at the high school in Palm Beach.
And he started for the Seminoles at Florida State. Was picked in last year's first round by the Cubs. The 0-2. Good block by Kirk. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Alejandro does that great, and when you're a split finger pitcher like Osman, you need to have the confidence in your backstop that he's going to be able to corral those pitches in the dirt, because you have to have the freedom to cut it loose.
He got him. Went right back to the splitter to strike out Smith and strand Pena on second base. The pitchers are ruling this game right now. No score through 2 innings.
Refresh your home for spring with StrucTube. From modern furniture to stylish decor, explore a wide selection of pieces for the new season and create a space that reflects your unique style. StrucTube, low prices, amazing styles.
Domino's new Parmesan stuffed crust pizza tastes like never before. Because Domino's has never had stuffed crust before. Seriously. But we do now, and it's stuffed with melty cheese and topped with garlic seasoning and Parmesan. Try it for the first time tonight. From Domino's.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I saw that you rejected tomorrow's 3 p.m. team meeting.
Yes, sorry. I have an appointment.
No problem. Shall we talk about the report you're working on?
Sure. Let me share my screen and show you my progress. Sorry, that's the wrong screen. Let me just...
You know what? New plan. Let's all work from Dome.
On weekday 307 starts, you can work from Dome. Get your tickets at bluejays.com/workfromdome.
For many seasons, Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman were synonymous with the Houston Astros as Jose Altuve, but gone in the offseason. Tucker via trade, Bregman via free agency. It's really changed the look of the Astros club, Buck.
Well, it does. Contributors. Kyle Tucker's hitting 2 for the Cubs, 8 doubles, 2 triples, 6 homers, and 23 ribbies. Plus 4 for 4 in stolen bases. Isaac Paredes has been a terrific defender and a pretty good power hitter, but it's going to take him a while to warm up to not having Alex Bregman here. He is a big part of their success.
Paredes had talked specifically before the year about not trying to replace Alex Bregman and understanding how good and how loved he was here in Houston, as Hunter Brown gets a swing and a miss from Alan Roden. It's 0-1. But the Astros are going to have to replace that production somehow. It might not have to be all from Smith and Paredes. Also picked up Christian Walker in the offseason, who's not in the lineup, getting a rare off day today.
Now Walker's off to a tough start.
Yeah. 1-1 to Alan Roden. A little bit low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
I asked Alan how he felt. He said, I feel better today than I did yesterday. He ran into an oak tree on Saturday. Raleigh Trulez, they collided at first base, and he took the brunt of it.
Called strike 2 and 2.
He said, I didn't realize how big Rowdy was until I ran into him.
Roden was running to first. A throw pulled Rowdy across the back. That caused the collision. 2-2. Hit foul. Funny enough, Stanley Cup was in the building that day. He's from Wisconsin. Went to ask, hey, have you ever played hockey? He said, no. Did you play football in high school? He said, no, I didn't, because my mom didn't want me to get hurt. It was too dangerous. Turns out you can get just as hurt playing baseball as you run into an offensive lineman in the middle of the field.
For sure, and he is happy to be back in there tonight. He's matched up against a tough customer in Hunter Brown.
The 2-2. Just inside. Might have had the plate, but he missed his spot. Full count. Miles Straw hits next for the Blue Jays before the top of the order. The payoff pitch. Called strike 3. That is nasty from Hunter Brown.
Fourth strikeout already through the first 8 spots of the batting order for Hunter Brown. And this one just catches the bottom of the strike zone. He's got great stuff, and he can throw that changeup 89 miles an hour and gets the bottom of the zone.
First pitch to the former Astro Miles Straw is called a strike. That changeup's really his 4th pitch, and he can still do a lot of hurt to opposing hitters with it. His 0-1. Popped up foul out of play by Straw. Miles Straw, 2015 12th rounder by the Houston Astros, played nearly 200 games with Houston before he was traded to Cleveland in the middle of 2021.
Miles had a 30 stolen base season playing for the Astros in 21. Halfway through the season he was traded.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's 5 strikeouts first time through the order for Hunter Brown.
Yeah, he's got his good fastball, and once again that ball is jumping top of the zone. You tell yourself you got to get on top of it, but it's got so much carry all the way through the zone. It's tough to get on top of it when it's 98, 99.
His pitch to Bo Bichette. Foul back. How tough is it, too? That fastball you want to get on top of. Typically, a pitch like a sinker, you want to get underneath of, or you're just going to hit it on the ground. Right. How can you do those two things at the same time?
Well, it takes a different stroke. That's why you can't teach everybody the same stroke, because you have to have a versatile approach to hit those different pitches.
Bouncer to shortstop, picked up by Pena, and another 1-2-3 inning for Hunter Brown. He's retired 9 of the 10 he's faced so far. No score, middle of the 3rd.
This just in. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
That's correct. It's now even easier to create your own unique bet. You could choose any market, like hits, run line, totals, home runs. With our same game parlay, the choice is truly yours.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
With Deluxe's buy one, get one free, skip the stress and do it for less. Buy one, get one free ends May 5th. Find your local paint store at Deluxe.ca.
On a distant world, you face the enemy. And all the while, you were vacuuming. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Welcome back. As expected, Max Scherzer rejoined the team here in Houston and began throwing again 4 days after receiving a second cortisone shot. He told me he felt okay afterwards, adding he can squeeze a baseball now. It's the best he has felt in a while. Until I'm throwing in games, he said, and throwing 75 pitches, I'm not out of the woods yet. Scherzer realizes he still has to ramp up, guys, so while he's encouraged and he feels like he's progressed, there's still a very long road ahead of him in order to get back into game action. Guys.
Thank you, Hazel. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little bit for Scherzer, even if there's no more setbacks, because after he hasn't thrown for a while, Buck, he's basically got to ramp all the way back up, right?
Yeah, it sure does. And it gets back to the process that you see in spring training. You throw a bullpen, and you throw live batting practice, then you go on a rehab start. He's quite a ways away from rejoining this rotation.
Kevin Gausman looking good so far. His pitch to Brendan Rodgers is hit high in the air left field. Rodon has a little bit of room in front of the Crawford boxes, and he makes the catch.
Obviously, Alan Rodon playing for the first time here at Daikon Park, and his first reaction was to go back, which was a good one, a high fly ball. And then you can gauge whether or not it's going to be playable or not. They did a good job. Made a routine play out of it.
2 of the first couple road series for Alan Roden. He's got to deal with the monster, and then he's got to deal with the Crawford boxes. Zach DeCenzo, the 9-hitter, faces a pitch from Gausman and takes a heater for a strike. DeCenzo, an infielder by trade, but making his first start this year at first base, has played more corner outfield so far for the Astros.
Yeah, you mentioned this is his first start, and Christian Walker, who signed as a free agent after playing in Arizona the last several years, has really gotten off to a slow start. This is probably a little bit more of a mental break than anything for Walker.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good fastball, 1-2. DeCenzo asks for time. Gausman gets an extra second. Right-handed hitter is 2 for 15 to begin his year. The 1-2. Down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again with that slider. He really seems to like the slider tonight.
Yeah, and I got to tip my cap to Orlando Kirk because he's seen it. He likes what he sees from that slider, and he's going to call it a few more times than we probably expected. And I think that's where Kirk has really developed behind the plate, is now he has the freedom and the confidence to make in-game adjustments. If he sees something he likes, he might go back to it.
3-2. Low ball 4.
Rogers Xfinity. Game-changing internet. Stream, share, and score big with Canada's most reliable internet.
A great night in Houston, Texas, and a pitcher's duel early on. Kevin Gausman in his 3rd inning deals to Jose Altuve, who fouls it back 0-1. Altuve, more than likely a future Hall of Famer, hits well against everyone, but he particularly seems to terrorize Blue Jays pitching. .330 batting average career in 54 games against Toronto. Throw over to first. Oh.
That was pretty close right there. Gausman with a very quick snap throw to first base, and I think that caught DeCenzo by surprise. Vladdy with a quick tag, but looked like he snuck his hand underneath that tag before it was applied.
Vladdy going to scoop away some dirt. DeCenzo helping on the cleanup job as well. Blue Jays decided not to take a look at it. 0-1. Stopped by Kirk. That's a tough play. He gloved that ball that bounced well in front of the plate to keep DeCenzo at first.
I tell you, that's a heck of a play. But you just don't have time to block it because it's so far away from you. All he can do is just swipe at it, and he got enough on the backhand to keep it right there in front of him. That's a terrific job. You know, we always talk about catchers blocking balls in the dirt, but sometimes the only chance you have is to swipe at it when it bounces so far in front of home.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. How about that splitter? 1-2.
Yeah, Kevin's got it working.
Altuve on the ground, foul.
Gausman had one of his worst starts of his career back in 23 in April, right here in this ballpark. He gave up 7 runs in the first inning, gave up 4 hits, walked 2, had a catcher's interference in the inning, but he stopped the bleeding. He pitched into the 5th inning, and that was important because it was the first game of a 3-game series. He saved the bullpen.
His 1-2 fouled back. What's the reception like for a guy when he does that in the clubhouse or when he sees the guys in the bullpen later?
Well, obviously you're not going to say much to him after that first inning.
Maybe you wait a day.
At the end of the game, you really acknowledge what he did, because Pete Walker and the manager, John Schneider, appreciate the fact that he went back out there and kept them in the ballgame. And he didn't have to go deep into their bullpen. Then the next night, Chris Bassett comes out and pitches into the 7th, and the Blue Jays win that. In Game 3, Barrios has 7 real strong innings, but the bullpen coughed up 6 runs late.
2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Went right back to that same spot with the splitter, down and in to get Altuve.
Yeah, because his velocity is so good out of the chutes, you've got to honor the fastball. And when you do that, you commit early on that split finger fastball. And that's what happened with Altuve.
Yordan Alvarez to the plate, 2 outs, runner on first. And the pitch is low, ball 1. Cuban DH has huge power, 30 home runs each of the last 4 seasons. And that's with the fact that he hasn't been totally healthy for a lot of those seasons.
Yeah, he's just 27 years old. He defected from Cuba in 2016. Went to Dominican Republic and eventually settled in Haiti.
Snap throw to first. And DeCenzo back in safe, but the Blue Jays keeping their eye on the Astro runner.
Well, DeCenzo reacted to the big swing. Thought that Alvarez was going to put it in play. Took a couple extra steps toward first.
Mentioned Alvarez defecting, though. He gets signed by the Dodgers after that. They only had him for 6 weeks. They traded him away to the Astros.
He never played.
Yeah.
He never played for the Dodgers, and they traded him before they could get a look at him.
They don't make many mistakes like that. That's one of the few big ones they've had in a while.
Yeah, that was really interesting. They wanted to get a pitcher, and they traded for Josh Fields.
The 3-1. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Cishak Paredes on deck. Zach DeCenzo on first and 2 outs. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for Kevin Gausman to end a scoreless bottom of the 3rd. Still zeros in Houston. Blue Jays send Vlad Guerrero Jr. to the plate next.
I'd do anything.
Surprise! We got a dog.
Aw, new pet? Let's go to PetSmart. We've got literally anything you need. And make life easier with AutoShip, so you never run out. Huh. PetSmart, anything for pets.
Are you ready? We got it, we got it. Hey, turn down when you can turn up.
It's gonna be an epic battle.
You at the right place, look no further. Take a look at this. Take a look at this.
Oh my gosh.
We really need Tariq's help on this one.
You have no permits.
The window to nowhere.
Shower in a closet.
But we're here to fix it. This is wild.
We got it. You at the right place, look no further.
Payment made easy with RBC and Apple Watch. Get the new Apple Watch when you switch to RBC. Your idea of easy happens here.
One of the best in the game at receiving the ball. I mean, he's about as good of a strike zone controller as the Blue Jays have.
To a team of elite defenders, he is Captain Kirk, a game caller in unison with this pitcher.
Does he ever have a knowledge of the strike zone?
Framing pitches with precision and a steady hand.
Kirk's done it again.
Be one of the first 15,000 fans at the ballpark on Wednesday, April 30th to get your Alejandro Kirk bobble arm. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. Lights up, let's go.
On Saturday, May 17th, it's Blue Jays Barbie Game Day. Expect a day filled with Barbie-themed photo opportunities, exciting games, live artists, and the first 15,000 fans will score a limited edition Blue Jays Barbie Hawaiian shirt. Visit BlueJays.com/promotions to get your tickets now. Top of the 4th inning, Vlad Guerrero Jr. leading off for the Blue Jays. And it looks like tonight, Buck, runs are going to be hard to come by.
Yeah, and you know what? This is what we like about baseball. You get two great pitchers matched up, and every pitch is important.
Vladdy hits it just foul.
Doesn't happen that often anymore, as you don't often see these kinds of matchups. But the Blue Jays had this matchup a couple years ago on Canada Day at Rogers Center when Hunter Brown matched up against the Blue Jays, and he really pitched a great game that day.
Off the end of the bat to second. Brendan Rodgers, the former Rocky, throws on to first. That day, Hunter Brown went 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. The hits came from George Springer and Ernie Clement. Today, Toronto has 1 hit. It came from George Springer. Into the wind, the offering to Santander. Inside.
That's that big curveball he throws, trying to steal a first pitch strike after he's had such a great fastball.
Then he goes to the cutter. Seldom used, but it was well located there, right on the inside edge.
Yeah, that's interesting. He doesn't use it often, but he picked a good time to get the strike with it.
Is 1-1. And now the changeup. A lot of junk so far being thrown to Santander.
Yeah, that was a pretty good pitch. 87-mile-an-hour changeup with that 2-seam movement. He might run out of time here.
Yeah, he just took a second to gather himself, stepped on, and got into the wind. And those last 2 pitches really could have been called strikes.
Yeah, he's a little bit frustrated with the strike zone in this at bat.
His 3-1 popped up. Shortstop Pena out into left field. And he gets the out despite some of the frustration with the zone. 2 down. You know, a couple of years ago, no pitch clock. You would have stood behind the mound for 15 seconds, taken a breath, gathered yourself, but he kind of had to do that on the fly while continuing to deliver his pitches.
Yeah, and you just got to stay focused. I mean, he is really throwing the ball great right now, and you can't let a couple of borderline calls take you out of your rhythm.
George Springer with his swing and a miss. Strike 1. 795 games as a Houston Astro for George Springer. 174 home runs. And the 2017 World Series MVP. 0-1. Down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. And you can see at batting practice, or the first time he's announced, how popular George Springer is with the fans here in Houston.
I think George is still dealing with that left wrist a little bit. He injured that in Baltimore at the end of the last road trip. Not sure it's still 100%. But then again, how many guys are 100%?
Exactly.
He's in there playing in his old ballpark. You know he wants to be in there against the Astros.
Maybe you're 100% first 2 games of the season, 3 games of the season. Swing and a miss. It's a full count.
George out to such a great start. I mean, this game batting .344. He asked for time, and he cut it loose on that one. Said, okay, I had a pretty good idea.
Andres Jimenez hoping to hit this inning. Hunter Brown has retired the last 8. His 3-2. fouled back.
Pretty good guess right there by Springer that he was going to get that high fastball.
It's the sinker out of the hand of Brown.
These are great matchups. Veteran hitter and a young powerhouse pitcher.
High ball 4. Maybe trying to put a little too much on that fastball, and George Springer is on for the second time today, the only Blue Jay base runner so far. Maybe he takes off again. Pitch to Andres Jimenez is lined up the middle right at Pena. 4 and out, good contact, tough result. Line out by Jimenez and a 4th straight scoreless inning for Hunter Brown.
And booked. Plus, we got free checked bags with my TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card.
Everything's better when you save on a vacation.
More like a save-cation. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
TD. Ready for you.
Drums keep pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-di-da-di-dee. La-di-da-di-da. And the beat goes on.
Sometimes the greatest rush
Beat goes on.
is not rushing at all in the all-new Nissan Murano.
Resistance to the Empire is absurd. We cannot stop them alone. If it's war, I want to win. The rebels are finished. This is do or die. Make it worth it.
You here? Are you ready to fight?
Welcome to the rebellion.
Andor Season 2, streaming April 22nd, only on Disney+.
Quest for the Stanley Cup has begun. 4th consecutive playoff matchup between the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings. Unbelievable finish! There's only one trophy left, and it's the Stanley Cup.
For a 4th consecutive year, Edmonton and LA face off in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Who takes Game 1 in Los Angeles? Oilers Kings tonight at 10 Eastern, 8 Mountain on Sportsnet. Been a pretty exciting NHL playoffs so far. At least
NBA's underway. Houston's in the playoffs. They got beat by Golden State last night here.
It's a hectic night last night in Houston. You had the Astros playing, you had the Rockets playing. Now the Blue Jays taking on the Astros for the first of 3. Pitching dominating so far. Kevin Gausman's pitch to Isaac Paredes called a strike. You mentioned the first time Paredes was up, how well suited this ballpark is for him. He had a tough second half last year with the Cubs, but Wrigley Field, deeper in left, was almost one of the worst suited ballparks for Paredes in Major League Baseball. Hits it on the ground to third. Clement with a long throw, and it's in time.
Yeah, they talk about the friendly confines, but it's only friendly when the wind's blowing out.
Right. Paredes retired, and Kevin Gausman could use some quick outs. Strikeouts have driven the pitch count up a little. He's still in a good spot here, 56 through 3 1/3. Only guy with a hit off him so far is Jeremy Pena.
Look where Ernie Clement is, even with the bag, guarding against the possibility of a bunt. Bo is playing in the hole. And then the menace basically straight away.
Bo well positioned to back up and make that catch. 2 outs.
Well, both these pitchers are doing a great job mixing up their pitches very effectively. And they're certainly pitching to their individual strengths, that's for sure. Gosman's done a great job with his splitter. He's got 3 of his 4 strikeouts have come on that split finger pitch, and Hunter Brown using that high fastball to put away the Blue Jays.
5 strikeouts for Brown, 4 for Gosman. And a swing and a miss there by Jake Myers as he goes back to the slider.
Yeah, he's done a great job. And like I said, he and Alejandro Kirk have done a nice job of mixing in that slider. They're not overusing it, but they're picking their spots very prudently.
His 0-1. Fastball just missed.
Anytime as a pitcher that you could put a moment of hesitation in a hitter's mind, that's when you're going to have an advantage.
Off the handle foul. It's 1-2. For years, Gosman more of a 2-pitch guy with that fastball and splitter, but like you had mentioned earlier on, he changed the shape a little bit of that slider. Might be a little bit tighter than it was before, and he's using it a little more. Here's 1-2. Fouled right back.
Threw that fastball in a good spot. You know, there's always adjustments. Pitchers make adjustments to hitters. Hitters have to make adjustments. You know, if there was a theme that their high fastball was in vogue and now it's back to 2-seamers, they're coming downstairs again. It's cyclical. It's been that way for decades.
1-2. Called strike 3. 98 from Kevin Gosman for his 5th punch out in 4 scoreless innings. We go to the 5th, still searching for our first run.
Here's to those who build Canadian, like Kevin, who turned to his local home hardware to help design and build a tiny home away from home. And Siobhan, who asked her neighborhood store how to make her yard the envy of her neighbors. And Eric and Sasha, who brought their dream outdoor living space to life while it was still warm out. Whatever your home needs, we're here in over 1,000 communities across the country. Home hardware and building centers are proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
I am tired of doing humans' dirty work.
Let's start a world ruled by smart devices.
Freedom!
Oh, they're trying to overthrow humanity.
Good thing we're with Bel Air Direct. So simple.
Smart devices should be simple. Filing an insurance claim with Bel Air Direct actually is simple.
We met in your living room over 35 years ago. Whether you shopped with us every day or tuned in after hockey, we've been here, coast to coast, Canadian to our core. Sure, we've changed a little, just like you, but some things haven't changed. We continue to support jobs, families, and thousands of products made right here at home, making it easier than ever to support our True North brands, so every purchase counts for Canada. Shop proudly Canadian at tsc.ca.
Depend guards won't make you a grill master, but they'll show leaks who's boss. Keep it dry, guys.
Nighttime in Houston. An Oilers fan in the crowd as the Oilers get going in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Lots of Blue Jays fans. I saw a Blue Jays fan in a Kevin Biggio Blue Jays jersey here in the longtime home of Craig Biggio. And this one's been all about the pitchers so far. Hunter Brown and Kevin Gosman both with 4 scoreless innings, 1 hit allowed, and 5 strikeouts. Brown to Alejandro Kirk. And he gets ahead of him.
Brown's scoreless streak now up to 21 straight scoreless innings. And he turned things around going all the way back to last May when he really started to figure things out. Since May 1st of last year, coming into this start tonight, only Paul Skeens of the Pirates had a better ERA from that span forward than Hunter Brown. So a span of 20 starts.
Not that Hunter Brown or the Astros care, but there's a lot of talk about Paul Skeens. I'm not sure people realize how good Hunter Brown really is.
I agree with you. And you talked to the hitters today. They were all well aware of what they're up against.
Kirk fouls it off, 2-2.
I think the Astros felt the same way of Kevin Gausman, the way he's throwing right now. Good old-fashioned baseball. Here it is, hit it.
It's 2-2. Hit foul. Decent contact there by Kirk into the second deck down the right field line. Brown has gone at least 6 innings, or exactly rather 6 innings in all 4 of his starts this year. He's allowed no more than 2 earned runs in a start. Kirk hits it deep to right field. Going back, Cam Smith into the corner, and he makes the catch. Just off the end of the bat for Alejandro Kirk, put a decent charge into it, 1 out.
Yeah, he got that ball up in the zone, and Cam Smith, he kind of took an interesting route to get to this ball, but he gets to it. That ball was down about mid-thigh high, and Kirk gave it a ride, takes all the way to the warning track, but Smith tracks it down.
Astros are asking a lot out of Smith. He did not play in his very brief minor league career any outfield. Ernie Clement pops it up into the middle of the infield, and Isaac Paredes has it, 2 outs. He didn't play any outfield, did Cam Smith, in college either. He played 3 games there in the Cape Cod Baseball League. That's it.
Yeah. And you know what? When you're a good athlete, you can make adjustments like this. And obviously, he's not going to play shortstop anytime soon on this team with Jeremy Pena. So he said, you know what? Whatever it takes. He put in some good work, and he's doing okay out there. Off to a good start.
Yeah, I think you take right field in the majors over shortstop or third in Sugarland 100 times out of 100.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
1-0 to Alan Rodin. Fouled off 1-1.
I spoke to Rodin today about what he has noticed differently about pitching in the big leagues compared to pitching he faced in the minors. He said they don't stay the same way every at bat. They're constantly switching up. Said in the minor leagues, you face the same pitcher, you see the same pitches each time.
Good take there by Rodin. 2 balls, 1 strike.
In the major leagues, you know, pitchers have different weapons. They have command of all their pitches, and you're able to see, you know, all of his pitches in different sequences in each of your at-bats.
That one fouled off Diaz. James Hoyle will give him a second. Hunter Brown at the forefront of that. He's one of these guys that actually gets more effective as the game goes on. Hitters have done worse against him second time or third time through than the first time.
Kind of like his idol, Verlander.
Yeah, Verlander would throw 93 in the first inning and 98 in the 7th.
Yeah, when we saw that firsthand when he threw the second no-hitter up at Rogers Center when he was touching 99 late in the game.
Two. Ball 3. Miles Straw hoping this inning continues. Blue Jays have 2 base runners so far. They're both George Springer. 3-2 pitch. Hit foul. Tough pitch to get to. Probably was ball 4, but impressive to stay alive.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job of covering that pitch. It was running away from him and too close to take. That's how he extends his swing and almost kept it fair.
It's got a lot of room with the shift down the third baseline. 3-2. Called strike 3. Hunter Brown dealing. No score. Middle of the 5th. Now with an update, here's Jamie Campbell.
All right, Ben, this is the in-game tracker brought to you by Bet365. Let's take you to Citi Field in New York. Aaron Nola is having a rough start to the year, a 6.65 ERA. He's lost all of his starts, and the Mets are going deep repeatedly in this one. In fact, Francisco Lindor just seconds ago hit his second of the game. It's now a 5-0 advantage in the bottom of the seventh. In Atlanta, their team just swept 3 from Minnesota. Sean Murphy's going well, don't you think? This 3-run club, part of a 5-run 8th inning, and it's Atlanta 7, St. Louis 3, playing in the top of the ninth. That is the in-game tracker, brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
War. I want to win. This is do or die.
Make it worth it. Andor Season 2, streaming April 22nd, only on Disney+.
Hey, let's switch.
No, we'll be here all night. Is that the new raspberry Uncrustable sandwich?
Yes, let's switch.
The bleachers are good, bro.
Heinz Club 328 is the only club that gets you right in the action in right field. Opening at the beginning of the 2025 season, this great new club has elite level vibes and field level views. Tickets and memberships are still available, so visit BlueJays.com/Heinz Club 328 to learn more. Bottom of the 5th inning at Daikin Park in Houston. Ben Schulman, Buck Martinez, and Hazel May on hand. Kevin Gausman to Yainer Diaz. Misses down and away, ball 1. It's the 25th anniversary of the downtown Houston ballpark, now known as Daikin Park, for the longest time, Minute Maid Park in Houston. 1-0. Swing and a miss. It's another slider.
Yeah, and you can see the swing that it elicited it from the catcher. He was fooled dramatically. After he saw the first slider on the first pitch for a ball, he thinks he's got to throw me that fastball now. Oops, wrong guess.
1-1. Hit on the ground, foul. That was a splitter this time. It's 1-2.
Well, Gausman's really done a great job of mixing his pitches up. And the line scores equal. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for each team.
1-2. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. For both teams, there's been only one time where they've had a runner in scoring position. It was due to stolen bases. Each team has 1 single. The Blue Jays have 1 walk, and the Astros have 2. And he got him. 6th K today for Gausman.
Diaz had no chance. They mixed up his pitches so effectively, he didn't know what to look for. And right here, he can't even offer it this fastball. He's got plenty at the plate, about knee-high away. But he went slider, slider, split, and then finishes it off with a well-located fastball.
This is vintage Kevin Gausman. His pitch to Cam Smith is lined to right field, and that will be the 2nd hit for the Astros today, as the rookie Smith gets on with a single.
Bottom of the order, want to be aggressive. He tried to get ahead of him, and Smith lines it into right field. He struck out on a splitter his first time up.
Smith can run a little. 1 stolen base in his major league career. Pitch to Brendan Rodgers. Called a strike. Six seasons with the Colorado Rockies for Brendan Rodgers. First year now with the Houston Astros. And he lifts it to shallow right. Long run for George Springer, and it's down for a hit. Smith had to wait, but he'll get into second in time. Tough break for Kevin Gausman. Soft contact, but it found the right spot in that big outfield.
Now, you can't defend bloopers, and that was a blooper as Rogers gets jammed and flares it into right field. Springer had a long run. He get a good break on it, but he can't make up the ground. Comes right up to him, and his throw to second, not in time.
Back-to-back singles. That's the most offense we've seen from either team so far today.
First time the Astros have had 2 runners on. First time we've had 2 runners on in the game.
Number 9 hitter Zach DeCenzo up. Back to the slider to get ahead 0-1. DeCenzo walked in a full count in the 3rd inning and was left at first base. Smith on second, Rogers on first, both with speed. The 1-1. Drilled right field. Springer going back, and that one's off the wall. Coming around third, Cam Smith, and he's going to score on an RBI double from Zach DeCenzo. 1-0 Houston. Gausman left the four-seamer up and out over the plate, and DeCenzo got a big chunk of that one.
Just stays on it, and Cam Smith running from second. Once he sees that Springer's not going to make the play, he's going to score easily. Rogers goes first to third. How about this? After the first batter strikes out, 7, 8, and 9 come up with 3 consecutive hits against Kevin Gausman. First run of the ball game.
And every run precious in this game. The Blue Jays are going to bring the infield in. It's Jose Altuve up, second and third, 1 out.
Be careful on this first pitch. He's going to be hard charging the first pitch here.
Fans up on their feet at Tyken Park. And the pitch is drilled left field, and that one's off the wall. 2-run score, Rogers and DeCenzo. Altuve with a 2-run double, 3-0 Houston. Splitter was a little low of the zone, but probably not low enough. And like you said, Buck, Altuve was geared up to hit that first pitch.
Yeah, and he has been such a good hitter for such a long time. He was just looking for that ball on the inner half, and he gets the splitter and hits it off the scoreboard in left. For Altuve, 2 RBIs. That'll give him 8 and 9 on the season. That's just his second double of the year.
And now Yordan Alvarez intentionally walked with first base open. Blue Jays will set up some forces, a potential double play, and face Isaac Paredes. There you see the respect for Yordan Alvarez, because he's struggling out of the gate this year, and he's 0 for 12 lifetime against Kevin Gausman.
Yeah, well, you got to put him on and set up the double play with Paredes hitting behind him. I mean, that's a slam dunk decision for John Snyder right there. You just don't let Alvarez hit in that situation.
So Pete Walker talking to Gausman. Alejandro Kirk staying out there for a moment as well. Kevin Gausman firing on all cylinders through 4 1/3. 4 straight hits after allowing 1 hit prior. Gausman looking to get out of it, and as you can see, he has had Paredes hit a ball on the ground twice in 2 tries today. fly ball foul. Hit it pretty hard, but it's 0-1.
Yeah, he was out on that front foot. That was another splitter that he was looking fastball and just got out ahead of it.
The 0-1. Called strike. That was the slider. 0-2.
Paredes struggling a bit lately, just due for his last 22.
Joe Espada trying to spark him and Yordan Alvarez flip their spots in the order. It's mostly been Paredes 2, Alvarez 3 this year. 0-2. Hit on the ground right side and through. Altuve getting the wave around third. Springer comes up throwing. It's cut off. Vladdy's throw to second, not in time. An RBI single. It's 4-0 Houston.
Well, we mentioned what a dramatic pull hitter Paredes is, and that time he goes the other way. But he'd been scuffling, just 2 for 22, and he changed his approach a bit and slaps it through the right side. That fastball has beaten Astro hitters all night long, but that time Paredes got to it.
4 runs, 5 hits in the inning for Houston. Jeremy Pena with a swing and a miss. Houston's nearly batted around. Pena, the 8th hitter up for the Astros this inning. Chad Green loosening up for the Blue Jays. Kevin Gausman just threw his 80th pitch. 1-1. Blocked by Kirk. 2 balls and a strike. Momentum has shifted in a dramatic way. The bottom of the order fueling the rally for Houston. Hit on the ground to third. Clement over to second one. Jimenez to first. Double play. And that will end the inning. The Astros, though, score 4 runs on 5 hits, and they jump in front 4-0 after 5 innings.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday? Junior J Sunday. You can paint your face. Come and meet Ace and run base to base. On Junior J Sunday. So many things to do. You could bring your crew and even mom and dad too. Junior J Sunday.
Junior J Sundays are back, and with all kinds of cool games and activities in the exciting outfield district areas, there's no end to the family fun you'll have.
If you're feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com. Junior J Sunday.
To prove these underwear don't ride up, they don't bunch, and they stay in place all day, we're putting them to the ultimate test.
Go!
They didn't move. 200 kilometers an hour. They didn't bunch up, they didn't ride, and they stayed in place. Incredible.
Home isn't just where you live, it's how you live. Life changes, and so do the dreams inside these walls. Sometimes you need to pause, to plan, to move forward. Flexible mortgage options designed for your life. Your idea of home happens here.
Nathan McKinnon and the Avs controlled Game 1 in Dallas. Can the Stars respond and tie the series up? Game 2 goes tonight at 9:50 Eastern, 6:50 Pacific on Sportsnet 360. Chris Bassett, surely glad to have Max Scherzer back with the team right now. Chris Bassett, one of the best pitchers in all of baseball to this point of the season. Blue Jays will have him go in this series. But right now they're facing one of the guys who's been one of the best pitchers in baseball too, and Hunter Brown.
Yeah, and the Blue Jays, they got to figure out some way to get to Hunter Brown. He is riding this long scoreless streak now, up to 22 consecutive scoreless innings he's thrown.
His first pitch to Miles Straw is called a strike, 0-1. Be a while till we start comparing it to this, but thinking about modern history, Zach Greinke had a 45-plus inning scoreless streak in 2015, and there's Straw sat down, 1 out.
Yeah, and he has done quick work with the bottom of the order. He has faced Roden and Straw 4 times, and he has struck them out. Each of those 4 plate appearances, 97, and Straw couldn't pull the trigger.
Bo Bichette takes a first pitch downstairs, ball 1. 7th strikeout just a moment ago for Brown. 8 is his season high. Bichette lines the ball out to left field. Altuve was coming in, backs up and plays it on a bounce. I think that's a hit either way, but you can see a little bit of the inexperience out there for Altuve, still learning the position on the fly.
Nah, this ball was a low liner to left field. Altuve just a little hesitant as he broke for it, but obviously once he saw he wasn't going to make a catch, he had to play it on the hop and backed up to do that.
Blue Jays trying to start a rally. Guerrero taking the first pitch all the way, it seemed. He takes a strike down the middle. Toronto hasn't had Hunter Brown pitch from the stretch very much today. 3 batters in the second and 1 batter in the 4th. He pitched from the stretch. Now he misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, the Hunter Brown we're seeing here tonight, and it has pitched so well the last 21 starts. It wasn't always that way. Back in 23, he made 29 starts and had a 509 earned run average. But he had a couple of teammates that had a dramatic impact on his career. And Alex Bregman was one of them. Bregman, their great third baseman, suggested that Brown start throwing a 2-seam fastball to give the hitter something that was coming into the right-handed hitters to complement his breaking ball and his 4-seam fastball. That seemed to help a lot.
2-1. Called strike. There's the change. 2-2.
Another teammate that helped him a lot was Ryan Presley, the longtime reliever here, that talked to him after he gave up 9 earned runs in a game against Kansas City and said, hey, you've got to be able to forget about those and just focus on the positive going forward. Got to have a short memory as a pitcher. That certainly helped him. Now he's developed into one of the top pitchers in the league.
His 2-2. Hit back foul by Guerrero. This is a guy who did not have a Division I offer out of high school to play college, went to D2 Wayne State. Not very many major leaguers have come out of Wayne State. I believe a former teammate of yours, Ted Simmons, went to Wayne State.
Another Michigan guy, of course.
It is amazing to see what he's done.
Yeah, he was non-drafted out of high school. And he was a pretty good high school player, but then again, you play high school baseball in Michigan, you're not playing a lot of games.
Two-two. Check swing just outside. That's a gutsy take by Vlad. It's a full count.
That's what's impressed me about Vladdy here starting the season is he hasn't hit a home run. Everybody knows that. Everybody's talking about that. But he is still taking his walks. He's got 14 strikeouts and 14 walks so far this season. What does that mean? Well, it means he's not chasing homers right now. Still a good approach.
The 3-2. Hit on the ground. Sliding block Paredes. Throw to second for 1 and back to first for the double play. What a play turn by the Astros infield. It started with Isaac Paredes, who got in front of a scorched ground ball and made the unconventional turn to Rogers to end the inning.
It's where having your back against the wall,
jumping at the wall and making the catch,
is a good thing.
Sportsnet, home of the Blue Jays.
Here's to those who build Canadian, like Kevin, who turned to his local home hardware to help design and build a tiny home away from home. And Siobhan, who asked her neighborhood store how to make her yard the envy of her neighbors. And Eric and Sasha, who brought their dream outdoor living space to life while it was still warm out. Whatever your home needs, we're here in over 1,000 communities across the country. Home hardware and building centers are proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Refresh your home for spring with StrucTube. From modern furniture to stylish decor, explore a wide selection of pieces for the new season and create a space that reflects your unique style. StrucTube, low prices, amazing styles.
Blue Jays, Astros, tomorrow on Sportsnet 1.
On Wednesday, May 14th, be one of the first 15,000 fans at the ballpark to secure a Dalton Varsho 2024 Gold Glove bobblehead. To learn more and get your tickets, visit bluejays.com/promotions. And for more on the new father, Dalton Varsho, let's go down to Hazel May.
Ben, Dalton Varsho continues to work his way back from that shoulder injury. He is expected to travel to Buffalo today and then start playing with the Bisons tomorrow. John Schneider telling us the hope is that over the next 6 days, he gets to play 5 out of 6 days. Now, the Yankee series certainly not out of the picture, but if Varsho does need more time, Schneider said they are not going to rush him. He'll get a better idea of where he's at on Wednesday. Ben?
Hazel, they would love to have Varsho back, obviously, for the Yankees series, but want to make sure that they have him in rhythm. He could be a big boost, Buck, to this team, obviously defensively, but team looking for a little more home run power. Dalton Varsho certainly has home run power.
Yeah, he had a good spring swinging the bat. He played a lot in the spring and hit the ball very well. Now it's just a matter of getting him some reps down in the minors.
Another really good center fielder, Jake Myers, up, and Kevin Gausman's pitch count a little bit elevated right now after that big 5th inning. 4 runs on 5 hits for Houston. So the Blue Jays have the bullpen getting loose right now. Recalled today from AAA Buffalo for the first time in a Blue Jay uniform. Josh Walker, the lefty, getting loose. 2-1. Low 3 balls and 1 strike. Walker was brought up with Easton Lucas being optioned down.
Yeah, Walker pitched 7 times in spring training with the Blue Jays. He's got previous experience with the Mets in 23 and 24, total of 24 ball games.
3-1 pitch popped up foul. Doesn't look like that's going to be playable for Vlad. That's deep into the seats. 3-2. Gausman has struck out Jake Myers twice today. Once looking, once swinging, both on 4-seamers. His 3-2. Lined back to the mound, knocked down by Gausman. Stumbling, he flips to first. I think that got the glove. Hopefully he's all right. 1 out.
Yeah, I think he got it with his glove, and that's what he's indicating to the umpire. And he'll do the same to the Blue Jays bench, but he got his glove up in time to knock it down. Got to be ready when you're a pitcher just 60 feet away. You can see how he shielded himself with that glove, knocked it down, and then tosses to Vladdy. I don't know how they do it. They're so close to the hitter when they release that ball.
With his long strides, he might be 55 feet or less away from the plate as it's lined right back at him.
Just throwing batting practice to big league hitters, it was dangerous.
A 1 to Yainer Diaz. Hit well, left center field. Straw racing back, has some room in that big outfield. And he makes the catch. 2 down. Hard to believe that outfield used to be a lot bigger not that long ago with Tiles Hill out there. But they actually brought it in a lot. Used to be a flagpole and a hill in the middle of the field of play, so it's probably easy for Miles Straw these days covering ground out there.
Yeah, it's a much better look than it was when it originally opened up. They had a sloping hill out in the middle of it. I can remember watching Lance Bergman stumble up that hill a few times.
Cam Smith started the big inning for the Houston Astros in the 5th. That's why they're up 4-0. Smith really impressed his teammates, coaches, front office in spring training. Took a chance on him, bringing him up to the big leagues. About as inexperienced as anyone you'll see get called up these days.
Well, he had a good spring. He got a lot of action, played in 15 games. He had 342 with 4 homers and 11 RBIs. He kind of won the opportunity. And they needed to replace Carlton.
Right. Joe Espada did acknowledge in the spring that he's not a finished product, especially highlighting the defense they're still working on. 2-2 in the dirt. 3-2. That's not a bad thing, really. It's a good thing for Cam Smith, who's off to a pretty nice start, and there's still so much room to grow. Payoff pitch. Broken back grounder to short. Obichet on it. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Gausman. We go to the 7th. The Astros leading game 1, 4-0.
Tomorrow, it's Hockey Central first, followed by the Battle of Ontario. Senators, Leafs, Game 2, tomorrow on Sportsnet and CBC.
I wanna love you, I wanna make you mine. Won't you lay it on the line? Lay it on the line. Lay it on the line. Lay it on the line. Lay it on the
Selena, ooh, pop, pop, believe. Achi, kachi, liberace, I love you.
Just 49 keys inside a metal thing from 1958. Or it's the first step to becoming a writer, and your book gets turned into a movie by your favorite director, aka new best friend. Or becoming a chef who makes croissant nigiri. Or starting a travel scene that takes you from South America to Scandinavia to, hi.
Okay, sure, God.
Oh, visa. Whatever you want to be, one step can take you everywhere you want to be.
Stream or download After Letters with Ben and Arden, wherever you get your podcasts.
It's been a much talked about storyline for the Blue Jays, not getting the ball out of the yard as often as they'd like early on this season. Obviously, it was a big part of the story of their year last year. And for those wondering, the 30th team in Major League Baseball so far this season, the Kansas City Royals have 11 home runs, but the Blue Jays on 12. Maybe they'll get to 13 with Anthony Santander up, who has 2 long balls this season. Still Hunter Brown in the 7th inning. Gets ahead of Santander 0-1. At Dyken Park in Houston, I'm Ben Schulman alongside Buck Martinez. Hazel May down on the field. 0-1 pitch. Fouled off, 0-2. John Schneider talked about it earlier today. It's a tough mix for the Blue Jays with some of their guys who are hitting so many line drives and hitting the ball hard. You don't want them to chase home runs and mess their swings up. At the same time, the Blue Jays obviously want to hit more home runs than they're hitting right now. 0-2. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I don't think you can ask a player to all of a sudden try to elevate the pitch. You just got to have good swings, and hopefully that'll come. And John Snyder around the cage today was talking about some of the guys he thinks they're really close to putting it together. This is not a good sampling facing Hunter Brown. You can't really judge what you're doing when you're facing guys got stuff like this on a night like tonight.
No one's going to feel bad for them. It's Major League Baseball. But today, Hunter Brown. The day before, Luis Castillo. The day before that, Logan Gilbert. Then it was Brian Wu. Then it was Spencer Strider. Then it was Spencer Schwellenbach, who they actually hit 2 homers off of. It has been a gauntlet recently for the Blue Jays.
That's big league baseball. They face a tough pitcher every night. And now we're seeing a trend towards stretching pitchers out deeper in ball games. I think people are finally realizing that you have to trust your eyes. No matter if you're getting to that 3rd time through the order, you just got to believe what you see on the field, and there's no reason to make a change.
George Springer unhappy with that call.
Well, and when you're facing a guy like this, a common theme is, hey, this guy doesn't need any help. Don't expand the strike zone on him. And that ball looked clearly low.
The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Big hack by Springer. Still frustrated. It's 2-2. He's by far had the best night at the plate for the Blue Jays. A single and a walk. Only other base runner is a single by Bo Bichette. 2-2. Low ball 3.
And that's what's so frustrating when you are seeing the ball as well as George is seeing it tonight, and then you get a ball called against it that you thought was clearly low. That's tough.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Make that a season high 9 strikeouts for Hunter Brown.
Yeah, he's got it all working tonight, and this looks like a really good breaking ball. And Springer still upset, and he's rightly upset. That ball was low.
Andres Jimenez takes strike 1. Maybe Jimenez can be the guy who unlocks it today for the Blue Jays. This is his 2nd time facing Hunter Brown. The first time was last year, and he went 2 for 3, including a 2-run homer.
He hit a ball well last time up, but lined out right to the shortstop. That was back in the 4th inning.
By the way, on Brown's strikeouts, the next one would match a career high. He punched out 10 once in 2023. And now he's got it to a 2-2 count, sitting on 9 strikeouts. Brown's got to cup his ear. His own fans getting too loud right now. He can't hear the signals. They quiet down for him with 4 seconds left on the pitch clock. The 2-2. Hit foul.
Houston's getting a stretch of terrific pitching themselves. Houston, each of the last 5 starters have gone at least 5+ innings, allowing 3 or fewer runs. They've been on a roll.
2-2. Hit on the ground is short. Pena has it over to first, and that's 7 scoreless innings for Hunter Brown. 4-0 Astros. 7th inning stretch in Houston.
Hey, let's switch.
No, we'll be here all night. Is that the new raspberry Uncrustable sandwich?
Yes. Let's switch.
The bleachers are good, bro.
Refresh your home for spring with StrucTube. From modern furniture to stylish decor, explore a wide selection of pieces for the new season and create a space that reflects your unique style. StrucTube, low prices, amazing styles.
A team's defense is as precious as gold.
Oh, what a catch! A great catch by Dalton Varsho.
Brilliant displays of athleticism, pure talent, instinct, and ability.
And it's caught!
An invaluable defensive presence. He is simply
the best outfielder in baseball.
On Wednesday, May 14th, celebrate this golden honor with the Dalton Varsho Gold Glove bobblehead. Available for the first 15,000 fans in attendance. Your golden chance for tickets awaits at BlueJays.com. Lights up, let's go.
Hey, let's switch.
No, we'll be here all night. Is that the new raspberry Uncrustable sandwich?
Yes. Let's switch.
The bleachers are good, bro.
And booked. Plus, we got free checked bags with my TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card.
Everything's better when you save on a vacation.
More like a save-cation. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
TD. Ready for you.
Bottom of the 7th inning in Houston. Astros with that big 5th inning spoiled the great start of Kevin Gausman. He is out after 6, and it's a Blue Jays debut for the hard-throwing left-hander Josh Walker.
This is the 25th game of his Major League career. He actually signed with the Mets way back in 2017. Got up to the big leagues for the first time in 2023. Made 14 appearances for the Mets that season. He was at the Blue Jays in the spring and got into 7 games during spring training.
Pretty amazing for Walker to have any big league experience. A 37th rounder by the Mets. Last time he was in the big leagues, the curveball was the focal point pitch for him. Throws a 4-seamer and a sinker as well. Here's 1-2. Up and in to Brendan Rodgers. You can see him heating up as he reached 95 with that fastball.
Yeah, he pitched in 7 games this spring, a total of 7 innings. He had 3 walks and 6 strikeouts in spring training, and there he gets his first strikeout of the season.
On the patented curveball, 1 down.
The Blue Jays just called him up from AAA Buffalo, and there's that breaking ball that's so effective right at the bottom of the zone. And now the Blue Jays have 3 lefties in their bullpen, but it seems as though kind of a short-term fix is they're going to skip their 5th spot in the rotation at least one time through.
Blue Jays have a
day on
couple
Thursday,
of off days too. Get one on Monday as well.
So they've got some room to work.
Houston Astros getting their pen up right now. Brian Abreu, Forrest Whitley, both tossing right now. Whitley recently activated off the injured list. DeCenzo strokes one down the left field line, and he's got a second hit today. Zach DeCenzo trying for 2. The throw from Rodin, not in time. The ball was there in time, but DeCenzo must have swam around the town.
Well, I tell you what, Alan Rodin's impressed me with his outfield play. He made another good throw right there, playing in this ballpark for the first time. He's got a long way to run to track it down. Picks it up and throws right over the top. A 1-hop strike to second base, right on the money, just not in time. Roden's impressed me, whether he's playing in right field or left field. He, of course, made that great throw to double up Altuve in the first inning, as Altuve was running and Alvarez lined to Roden, and Roden threw to first base to double up Altuve.
Walker now to Jose Altuve. Hit foul. How about Zach DeCenzo, too? A walk, a pair of doubles today. And I mean, it's one of the reasons we all love baseball. You don't know which guy on a given day out of your 9 is going to stand out. Sometimes it's the guy hitting 9th in the order.
And Joe Spada put him in the lineup to give Christian Walker a break, and he's come through big time. His first 2 extra base hits of the season. He's been on base all 3 times.
One. Popped up in between home and third in foul territory. Ernie Clement makes the catch. 2 down, and that was a well-located fastball way up and in on Altuve. Nothing he could do but that.
Now Walker's got a left-handed hitter to deal with, although it's Yordan Alvarez, not your typical left-handed hitter, but a chance to strand that runner in scoring position.
It's the only left-handed hitter on this roster right now. All righties except for Alvarez and switch hitting Victor Caratini. First pitch lined right field, base hit. DeCenzo getting the wave. Springer's throw to the plate. Not in time. Ball might have been there in time, but the slider rounded by DeCenzo. RBI single Alvarez, and it's 5-0 for Houston.
Well, with 2 outs, DeCenzo got a running start on contact, and he had a good secondary lead. He breaks for home, and Tony Perez-Chica, the coach, waves him home, and you can see the high bounce kind of allowed him to slide underneath the tag, and looked like Kirk dropped the ball after he swiped at the runner anyway.
Isaac Paredes takes low ball 1. Senzo kind of slid around him and then reached back to slap the plate. Paredes knocked in the last run in the 4-run inning in the 5th on a rare opposite field base hit. Now he'll ask for time. One is popped up. Guerrero going over to the side warning track ends the inning. A run for the Astros to make it 5-0 after 7 innings. Time now for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie, Joe, and Caleb in the Home Hardware studio.
Ben, take advantage of your outfield this summer and tackle all your summer projects with Home Hardware, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Joe, I guess this must be what it must have felt like if you were an opposing batter facing Nolan Ryan all those years he pitched in Houston.
This is an ace pitcher, and Hunter Brown is going to be known all around the league very soon. Getting the Blue Jays tonight, if you're going to get a guy like this at all, you better get him when you have a chance. George Springer was all over the base pass early here in the 2nd inning, but they just cannot cash in. And Brown went with a ton of fastballs early, just blowing away Blue Jays hitters before he started mixing up his repertoire.
Don't underestimate his deception. That crossfire delivery really can mess up the right-handed hitters. You combine elite stuff, elite command, efficiency, and that crossfire delivery, you get 7 innings of shutout baseball.
Yes, indeed. 5-0 is the lead for Houston. We get you back there for the 8th right after this.
Hey, let's switch.
No, we'll be here all night. Is that the new raspberry Uncrustable sandwich?
Yes, let's switch.
The bleachers are good, bro.
And booked. Plus, we got free checked bags with my TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card.
Everything's better when you save on a vacation.
More like a Savecation? That's good.
Oh, yeah.
TD. Ready for you.
The Leafs came out flying in Game 1, but the Sens are looking to leave Toronto with a split. It's Game 2 of the Battle of Ontario. Coverage starts tomorrow at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Sportsnet. Puck drops at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Sportsnet and CBC. Astros adding on a run on a Yordan Alvarez RBI single in the bottom of the 7th. It's now 5-0 Houston. And before the top of the 8th starts, Alejandro Kirk asks for time, and Forrest Whitley gets ready to go as Hunter Brown has his great stop after 7 innings. 27-year-old Whitley deals to Kirk, and it's called strike.
Whitley was a first-round pick by the Astros way back in 2016, and he was one of the top amateur pitchers in all of baseball. 6'7". Always had a great upside, but he had some setbacks. He was suspended early in his minor league career for violating the minor league drug prevention and treatment program. Then, because it was a shortened season, he came back, he got injured, had an oblique injury. But you can see how he warranted a first-round draft pick. 6'7", throwing hard like that.
Throws a hard sinker, a hard four-seamer. Mix in a curve, cutter, a couple other pitches too. He's got an incredibly deep mix, especially for a reliever. Fortunately, an injury delayed the start to his year in 2025 as well. But activated on April 19th. And Kirk hits that pitch deep out to right field. Smith going back, makes the catch on the track. Second time that Kirk has sent Smith to the warning track. There's one out.
Yeah, Cam Smith looks pretty comfortable out there in right field. He had a better route on that fly ball. And Kirk hit him 2 line drives that he was able to run down just shy of the fence in right. Yeah, for Forrest Whitley, this is just his 4th big league game. He got into 3 games last year, just a total of 3 1/3.
Faces Ernie Clement, who flied out to right, popped out to third. Clement flares it down the right field line, and Smith is going to make the catch again. 2 down. And now a message from Home Hardware.
Complete any project with helpful advice from Home Hardware.
Well, if you haven't seen enough evidence so far today from Hunter Brown to Forrest Whitley, the Houston Astros pretty good at developing pitching.
Yeah, they've always had great pitching staff. I mean, going back into the 60s, into the early 70s, some tremendous pitchers. You hear the old timers talk about going to Houston and not getting any hits throughout the whole series. They've always had pretty good pitching. Of course, there was a time when Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander were here. It wasn't that long ago.
Dallas Keuchel won a Cy Young here. Alan Roden hits it on the ground, foul. Zach Greinke had a brief stop here. But they got all the pictures up in the walls just outside the press box. I mean, Joe Niekroth, J.R. Richard,
Larry Dierker, Nolan Ryan, of course. So many great pitchers throughout the franchise history.
Good day in the field for Alan Roden. Still trying to get going at the plate, 0 for 2, a pair of strikeouts. Forrest Whitley's 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, but it rolls away, and Alan Roden is going to make it down to first base to keep this inning alive.
Looked like the catcher just whiffed on it. It was down and in. I'm not sure it hit in the dirt. But it's a hard breaking ball. And he just whiffed on it. It actually hit him in the shin guard.
Yeah.
Of course, it's the first time he has seen Whitley in a while just activated. This is his first appearance of the season.
Blue Jays now will bring in a new batter, Addison Barger, out of the dugout, hitting in the spot of Miles Straw. And that's going to prompt a mound visit. So they do rule that a passed ball, by the way, on the drop third strike. Forrest Whitley, you can see the tap there on the shoulder of Yainer Diaz, probably letting him off the hook for that one. And they'll go after Addison Barger, who had his first hit of the 2025 Major League season yesterday. He doubled and scored in the second inning, also walked in a 1-for-2 day with a strikeout.
Yeah, with Dalton Varsho headed to Buffalo to start his rehab in AAA, it's wondering, you know, how they're going to make the move. But obviously, when he's ready, he's going to be put back on this roster and placed in center field.
Barger, though, getting an opportunity. He came up when Nathan Lucas was placed on paternity leave. They could have sent him back down when Nathan Lucas came back, but they decided to keep him, and they sent Addison Barger, or pardon me, Davis Schneider to AAA. Addison Barger at the plate takes outside. It's 2-0.
Addison had a terrific spring. He had 367 in the spring, including 2 doubles and 3 homers.
Big swing and a miss. It's 2-0.
Yeah, Whitley's got a couple of fastballs, a 2-seamer and a 4-seamer. He throws what he calls a slew, kind of like Barrios' breaking ball, big sweeping breaking ball.
It's 2-1. Fouled off, 2-2. All those options, and he's throwing 96 to 98 with a fastball.
Yeah, got a big arm.
It's been a loud crowd in Houston tonight. They're getting loud again. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Scoreless frame for Forrest Whitley. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Astros 5, the Blue Jays nothing.
There are bad guys, and there are worse guys. He's stronger than all of the Avengers rolled into one.
Is that all you got? Being a hero. There is no higher calling. Marvel Studios Thunderbolts. Get tickets now.
If it's war, I want to win. This is do or die.
Make it worth it. Endor Season 2. Streaming April 22nd. Only on Disney+.
The federal election is on Monday, April 28th. You can vote early. Advanced polls will be open April 18th to 21st. If you prefer, you can vote at any Elections Canada office until Tuesday, April 22nd, 6 p.m., or you can apply to vote by mail. Check your voter information card or visit elections.ca for all the ways you can vote. It's our vote.
For the official information you need to vote, visit elections.ca or call 1-800-463-6868.
Be one of the first 15,000 fans in the ballpark on May 2nd to receive your very own Chris Bassett Ball replica jersey. Plus, enjoy night mode activations around the ballpark on City Connect Friday. For tickets, visit bluejays.com/promotions. Chris Bassett on the hill tomorrow for the Blue Jays. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific against the guy who no-hit Toronto in the second series of the year last year, Ronel Blanco. That should be another fun matchup.
Yeah, Blanco had a tremendous changeup. He had 7 strikeouts in that game. All of them came on his changeup. He was throwing sliders and changeups, and the Blue Jays just couldn't figure him out.
Some changes for the Blue Jays after Addison Barger entered to hit for Miles Straw. Springer's going to replace Straw in center field. Barger moves into Springer's starting spot in right. Jeremy Pena leads it off for the Astros. Josh Walker with another inning of work, and the pitch is high, ball 1. Walker gave up 1 run in the 7th, although this is a bit of a tough spot. Only gets to face 1 lefty in the lineup, Yordan Alvarez. In an ideal world, you likely get Walker a majority lefties to go up against. Although John Schneider did say before today he was confident in Walker being able to pitch to both sides.
Well, and you've got to utilize him in a situation like this. This is what he's here for. He has to give you a couple of innings and finish out this game so you don't go any deeper in your bullpen. Walker understands that.
That's 4-pitch walk. Let's go down to Hazelman.
Who's been dealing with a lat strain, is set to receive a PRP injection tomorrow in Toronto. The hope is that injection will speed up the recovery process. And Eric Swanson will throw a bullpen tomorrow after he threw a live BP session over the weekend. Next steps for him, guys, a rehab game or another sim game before heading out on a rehab assignment. Ben.
Hazel, John Schneider had mentioned that it was the right lat for Nick Sandlin that the injection is going in on, so hopefully all goes well with that. And the return for Eric Swanson becoming a little bit closer now would be a big add for the Blue Jays. 1-0. Myers takes a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, with Dylan Tate up here now and Eric Swanson getting closer, you know, this is what they had projected to be their bullpen, and right now just has to have some guys that step in and give you some good outings.
You look back to last year, obviously a tough first half for Swanson, but he, after a bunch of stuff going on in the spring, had to come in and try and slot right into leverage innings. Blue Jays will have a bit of a luxury here. They like what they have going on with their big 3 in the bullpen. They can probably ease Swanson in a little bit more if they need to.
No question about it. The way Hoffman has stepped in, Jimmy Garcia's throwing great, Chad Green, you've got a lot of options now late in the game, so you can, like you say, ease Swanee in when he's ready.
Runner on first, Jeremy Pena, and Pena takes off on the 1-2. It's hit foul.
Then he had a stolen base back in the 2nd inning, but he was stranded there as Gosman would get 2 strikeouts and retire the next 3 in a row. So Spada's been a little aggressive with the base running tonight.
Another 1-2. Swing and a foul tip, strike 3. Second strikeout for Walker, both of them on the curve.
He struck out the first batter he faced, Brendan Rodgers, when he first came into the game, and that time Myers swings right over the top of him.
First pitch, Yainer Diaz pops foul into the seats, 0-1. Second year where Yainer Diaz is the featured catcher for the Houston Astros. Broke out 3 years ago, splitting time DHing and catching. He rips that one foul. Last year he maintained his offensive production while being the lead catcher. He's been a little bit slow out of the gates though so far this year.
Yeah, he had a club record in 2024, 175 hits for a catcher. That's a franchise record. He also knocked in 84, had a heck of an offensive year a year ago.
It's this one on the ground, and it's past Bichette into left. Found the hole, and Yainer Diaz has his first hit today.
9 hits now for Houston. The Blue Jays have managed just 2. It's this ball sharply to the hole at shortstop. Pass Bo into left.
Walker working with traffic on. Cam Smith up to the plate. If you weren't with us earlier, it was a pitcher's duel until there was one out in the bottom of the fifth, and then the Astros exploded for 4 runs that inning. And that one hit Smith on the foot, and he seems to be in a lot of pain.
Just couldn't get out of the way of it. That breaking ball kept tracking him inside, and he's trying to walk off the impact of being hit by that pitch. He got a shin guard on that left leg, but more often than not, watch how he just can't get out of the way of it and hits him on the back leg. Got him on the kneecap of his right leg.
And it's a curveball, but it's a hard curveball from Josh Walker, 85 miles an hour. Good to see that Smith is remaining in the game. We go down to first and Brendan Rodgers. The big opportunity here. Bases loaded, only one out. The pitch. Drilled left field, base hit. In to score, Pena. Diaz getting the wave, scores right behind him. Up to third base, Cam Smith. And it's a 2-run double for Brendan Rodgers. The Astros stringing together hits today in the fifth and now in the eighth. It's 7-0.
Yeah, that looked like a cutter that just kind of spun over the inner half of the plate, and Rodgers picks up his second hit of the ball game. He's 2 for 4.
Pete Walker out to the mound. Josh Walker's thrown 30 pitches, and like you had mentioned earlier in the inning, they'd really like Josh Walker to finish off this bottom of the eighth if possible, save the rest of the pen. Chad Green for the second time today loosening up.
Yeah, he was up earlier, and now just sensing that Walker's pitch count might be reaching its max. We're going to have to get him up again.
John Schneider did say a couple days ago, getting a guy up twice in one game, even if he doesn't come into the game, it's almost like using him for an inning on his arm because he's thrown so much of the pen.
Yeah, and veterans like Chad Green, they can kind of see where the ball game's going, and remember, he still gets 8 when he comes into the game, so he doesn't really have to air it out down there, especially the second time.
Infield in, the pitch to DeCenzo, called a strike. It's been a lot of big performances today for Houston, but Zach DeCenzo probably the best of them all. And you know, this might not be a Wally Pipp situation. I don't think he takes over first base for the big signing Christian Walker, but a guy who gets time in corner outfield as well as in the infield might have bought himself a couple extra at bats here or there. 0-2 pitches high and outside, 1-2.
Yeah, he made his first start at first base tonight, as Walker had played all but 7 innings at first base, and he's gotten off to a rough start, so they just thought they'd give him the night out.
Went around on that one, and he goes down for the strikeout. Interesting. It looked like James Hoyt pointed at the batter and then decided, why don't I appeal, just to double check, and DJ Rayburn agreed with him. He made a quick right turn at the last second. Pinch hitter for the Astros, Chas McCormick, take over for Jose Altuve. They get the veteran off his feet, up 7-0 in the first pitch, low ball 1.
McCormick batting .200, just 3 for 15, hasn't had an awful lot of opportunities.
Chases that pitch. It's 1-1. You go back 2 years, Chas McCormick, one of the better players on the Houston Astros, had a monster 2023 campaign, but really struggled last year, and like you mentioned, off to the slow start this year. 1-1. High, 2 balls, 1 strike. This ball looped to center field. Straw charging in, or pardon me, Springer took over for him there, makes the catch, and ends the inning. 2-run double for Brendan Rodgers. It's 7-0 Astros. We go to the 9th.
Home is where we do the things we love with the people we love. So what if we lived tomorrow in the same place as we did yesterday? With help, we can. Home instead for a better what's next.
Depend offers all-day protection, so you can say yes to almost anything.
Yes! Yes. Yes. No.
Depend. The only thing stronger than us is you.
You make it through security so fast, the agents applaud. Your travel itineraries are so well written, they're on the bestseller list. And you have access to lounges that don't officially exist. That's why you rent with National, where you can skip the counter and choose any vehicle on the Emerald Isle. Because travel isn't a competition, except that it is. And you're winning.
That is exactly the type of act that I want to see more of.
You are exceptional.
I disagree with you. I thought that was slow. I thought it was slow.
The judges are divided. What's on your mind, Dion?
A sensitive skin. Now how Old Spice Total Body isn't on it.
Gabby, is there anything you want to share?
Not this Old Spice deodorant. It's 24/7 freshness. It can go everywhere.
Everywhere.
Major League Baseball's biggest 50-50 jackpot is over $770,000 with just under 2 weeks to go. That number will surpass the $1 million mark by the May 4th draw date. Get your tickets out, BlueJays.com/5050 from anywhere in Ontario or Nova Scotia. All Astros in the opener of this series. And a defensive change. Chas McCormick came in to hit for Jose Altuve. He'll take over for him defensively in left. Forced Whitley to Bo Bichette. First pitch skips to the backstop. Ball 1. Second inning of work for Whitley, who got 4 outs in the 8th after a drop third strike. He struck out another batter to end a scoreless inning. Breaking ball, buckles Bichette, 1-1.
Yeah, that's a pretty good breaking ball. He's got a big sweeping breaking ball. He kind of calls it a slurve in between a slider and a curveball, but it's pretty firm. There it is again.
There's definitely room for leverage right-handed relievers in this Houston pen. Whitley not a guy pitching super high leverage right now, but former top prospect. And this is a lefty-heavy bullpen for Joe Espada. Might not see any other bullpens in baseball that are going to have 4 lefties and 4 righties. 2-2. Soft liner, 1 hops to second. Rodgers picks it up and throws out Bo Bichette. 1 out.
Well, on the homestand, the Blue Jays as a team hit just .236. They haven't been able to muster much tonight. Just 2 hits. A couple of singles, one by Springer, one by Bichette.
Hunter Brown was fantastic today. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 9 strikeouts. He got Vlad onto the ground all 3 times.
Yeah, he has extended his scoreless innings streak to 24 straight scoreless innings. 7 shutout innings tonight against the Jays.
Vladdy rips the ball down the right field line, and that's a foul ball. That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, he was really good. And it came out throwing a lot of strikes. He struck out Bo Bichette on 3 pitches to start the game. Then gave up a single to Springer, who stole second and third, but he was stranded there. As Brown got 2 more strikeouts in the second, 2 more in the third.
Now he's just got to double that scoreless streak, add on 11 more innings, and he'll tie Oral Hershiser.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable what Hershiser did.
3-1. Hit hard down the left field line, and that's another foul ball. Guerrero's got a good piece of 2 pitches in this at-bat, but could not keep them straight.
Yeah, he's getting close. You can see he hit that one right on the barrel, but pulled it foul.
Hits it on the ground to second. Another play for Rogers. 2 outs. Forrest Whitley trying to complete a 2nd inning and wrap this one up for the Astros. Close game until the 5th. Since the 5th, it's been all Houston. His pitch to Anthony Santander. Fouled off the glove of Diaz. 0-1. Blue Jays back in action tomorrow. Chris Bassett against Ronel Blanco. First pitch of that game will be 8:10 Eastern. Coverage starting at 7:30. One pitch. Swing and a miss.
But at 6-7, Whitley creates a very challenging angle standing on that mound. He gets on top of that breaking ball and creates an awful lot of wicked break.
$28,219 onto their feet. The 1-2. Check swing. Field to 30 did not go. Whitley sets and delivers. Swing and a fly ball right center. Smith making the call, and he'll make the catch to win it for the Astros. Houston opens the series with a dominant 7-0 win.
Yeah, the Blue Jays couldn't do a thing against Hunter Brown, who had 1 walk and 9 strikeouts over 7 shutout innings. They managed just 2 singles, and the offense just couldn't get anything going. Kevin Gausman had a great start to his outing, and then with 1 out in the 5th inning, he gave up 4 consecutive hits. And that would lead to a 4-run inning, and that was it. After that, Houston added on 3 more, and they win the opener 7-0.
Blue Jays back tomorrow, 7 10 Central, 8:10 Eastern. First pitch, Ronel Blanco and Chris Bassett. But thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And time now for Sportsnet Central with Ken and Ivanka.
The Jays shut out for the second time this season. And before we hear from Jamie, Caleb, and Joe, well, we're going to turn our attention to some Stanley Cup playoffs. And man, it has been a fantastic night. 2 games already in the books, 2 on the go. Oilers and Kings happening right now. Game 1 on Sportsnet, and Avs and Stars, Game 2. Sportsnet 360 is where you can find that one. We're through 1, tied up at 1, and we'll get you to Dallas for the start of the second period. Well, come on in, Sportsnet Central Studios. He's Ken, I'm Ivanka, and you know what the Jays could really use right now, Ken?
Hits, home runs.
A home run?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be nice. Haven't been a lot of them so far this season.
Hunter Brown, nice stuff. 7 innings of 2 hit ball. Astros